addict named Dave. And God grant me the knowledge that I may speak according to your divine precept, instill in me a sense of your purpose, make me a servant of your will, not mine, and grant me a bond of selflessness that I may carry that no addict, that this may truly be your work, not mine, in order that no addict anywhere need to die from the horrors of addiction. So, I was just sitting there thinking, right, and of the topic, right, and you know, some days for myself, you know, through this program, it afforded me to go back to school. You know, I'm 64. I just got my associate degree at 63 in electronics technology, and thanks, and because I tried to get it back in the 80s, you know, but I got detoured, you know. I was baby lacing, you know, like the man was saying, putting stuff in cigarettes. And so anyway, years going down the line, you know, I wound up getting my associates, you know. And so in doing so, you know, a lot of the things that I was doing at the school, the community college, right, what I learned in Narcotic Anonymous, I took to the community college, like, you know, volunteering and stuff like that, you know. So they made me like a work assistant type person, you know, so I was able to put a couple of dollars in my pocket, you know, because I would show up early, stay late, and, you know, the whole nine, you know what I'm saying? And so I walked across the stage, you know, and I found myself, it was intimidating at first because I looked at students that was younger than my kids or whatever, my grandkids, you know. But I found out because it was like a refresher course for me, right? And I found myself helping students, you know what I'm saying? And the reason why I wanted to share that, right, because now, you know, I'm an adjunct professor, you know. And I know we talk about our titles, but, you know, it just feels so damn good, you know what I'm saying, being a productive member of society, you know what I'm saying? So they made me an adjunct professor, you know, and now I'm what they call also a teacher assistant, right? And you know what's the hardest part on some days, right? So when I do my syllabus, and I have to put my name on the board, or either I have to pronounce who I am, some days it's just hard not to say, my name is Dave and I'm an addict. And so that, I mean, it's hard some days, because it's natural, it's ingrained in me, especially when I come to a meeting. Or some days when I come in front of the contact with some people's man and I'm shaking their hand, yeah, I'm an addict named Dave, and then they looking at me like, what the, you know, that type of stuff, you know what I'm saying? So this stuff, since I've been in here, it's been ingrained in my heart, it's been ingrained in my spirit, you know. You know, I wanted to share a couple of things because I heard a lot of good stuff up here, and thanks for the people, the speakers who came before me. And I want to thank Bill and Hank. You know, I rode up there with them. Bill was ripping on my vehicle, you know what I'm saying? Lost the windshield wipers. And the interesting part, you know, him and Hank, they was laughing. And I ain't find shit funny. You know what I'm saying? I was so locked up in my own consumed shit, right? Listen, we played tapes and music, and I'm telling you, well, when we played that? And I just was just fucked up, you know what I'm saying? But the fact that, and then, you know, the funny part about it, right, like, because, and I'm grateful for this program, because some days, man, when I can't fucking think for myself, man, I literally couldn't come up with a solution. Probably if I'd have been there by myself, I probably would have gave the guy my credit card and, man, fix this shit, man. But I'm grateful that I had other recovering addicts, you know, that type of what we talk about, you know, the therapeutic value, one addict helping and others without parallel, that type of stuff, right? You know, the fifth edition type of stuff, right? It works high and wide. Talk about carrying a message to the addict who still suffer. We talk about to the newcomer, but goddamn. There's some of us with time still go through some shit, man, and be suffering through this shit, man. And on most days, some of us still need to hear that same motherfucker, that same message that an addict, any addict, can stop using, lose the desire to use, and find a new way to live. The message is hope, like you were saying, Bill, and the promise is freedom. Because when it's all said and done, that's the only thing that I got to give or be able to give. But what about the days I can't give shit? I ain't got it in me to give a motherfucking thing because I can't hear shit. I was telling Bill and them today, right? Because I'm in electronics, right? We work with oscilloscopes that look at signals, right? And we talking about signals that you can't even think that fast. But I see it, the waveforms, you know. Y'all can think, some of us y'all might can think in seconds of time. How y'all disease pounce on y'all, right? Or how it pounce on us, right? Well, I said y'all, because look, y'all might see seconds. Some of y'all might even see a half a second. They call that 500 milliseconds. I see that. I think about that on some days. I see, watch this, I think microseconds. That's real quick. Nanoseconds is a dot with 8 zeros and a 1 going the other way on the number scale. Picoseconds is 11 zeros and a 1. Some days I think sometimes because some days my disease won't give me an opportunity to think. It don't. It's going to fuck this up. Then I see myself sitting up in jail. What the fuck happened? So just for the day, because now we was talking about choices coming up here. Now I got a choice. Because God, I watched God do some things in my life, man, that look, you know, I just watch looking at my past history and looking at some stuff, and I'm like, it couldn't have been none other than a God, a power greater than my motherfucking self, man, that had me up here. I didn't want to be up here. I did not want to come. I didn't want to come. I was going to volunteer working with some other students, right, trying to prepare them because they falling behind in the course curriculum, industrial manufacturing, and me and my man, we come in on a Saturday just to volunteer our time to help them. So I'm debating, do I want to do this or do that? But one part of me, I'm talking about is, listen, on a lot of days, a whole lot of days, my mind struggled with sometimes trying to figure out what the fuck it's thinking about. A whole lot of motherfucking days. Making choices, decisions, what the fuck to do. You know what I'm saying? But one damn thing I know for sure I ain't gonna use. Now look, I don't want to go to jail, but goddamn it, I'll go to jail, but I ain't gonna use. You know what I'm saying? I went to jail. I remember you know what? I remember going to jail, right? And all this ties in. All this stuff ties in. It talks about Narcotic Anonymous all by itself. Is it enough? So I'm the addict that like put words that's not there. I make up sentences and shit, dude. Hey, what the third step says? God allow us to get angry. I used to always say, it took me 10 years. I said, God allowed me to get angry with it. And then I heard somebody else read. I said, well, I thought it said God allowed me to get angry with him. Where the fuck you get that from, David? They don't say that in the literature. I put shit where it ain't supposed to be. So anyways, that was the topic. So I just added a couple of more words to it. You know what I'm saying? This is narcotic, not all by itself. Is it enough? Then I said for me. It's appropriate, I like to believe. Because I had to ask myself these questions. We talk about who's an addict. Most of us do not have to think twice about this question. We know our whole lives are thinking we're sitting in drugs in one form or another. The getting, the using, the finding ways and means to get more. We live to use and use to live. Very sympathetic as a man or woman whose life is controlled by drugs. We are people in the grips of a continuous and progressive illness whose ends are always the same: jails, institutions. I had to ask myself this question. Y'all ain't have to ask me. I asked myself that. Could it be the drugs? I was trying to find another way up out of this camp, man. 30 days, shit. They talking about 90 and the 90 and all that 90. Man, that's a jail sentence. That's 3 months. What the fuck y'all talking about? Who the fuck? Where y'all get that shit from? If they would have told me differently, I might have would have looked at that different, right? But I said, I added, because I think I'm a math major. Just like I thought I was a chemist, right? Cooking couldn't have fucked up all my shit, you know. So my math was like, okay, a 90 and a 90. So I had to do some calculations, some quick ones. I said, oh shit, no, that's too much. So another way out of this, I said, well, I could do it like this. So if I do 3 meetings a day for 30 days, that's cool. I could think I could deal with that. You see what I'm saying? And so I used to, no, that still was too goddamn much. I said, well, so there was a day I used to go to 6 meetings on a Tuesday. From 7:30 in the morning, come home 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. So I used to get 6 meetings. So I'm still trying to figure out a number to get up out of here quicker. They talk about the miracle happens. You know what I'm saying? I was trying to figure out another way. And the miracle did happen. Because something went off. You know. Hey, the spirit, look. A spiritual awakening? Shit. It happened for me a long time ago, man, when we know about the birds chirping and all that shit, right? You use it, and then you get clean, and the motherfuckers bothering you and all that motherfucking shit. After you get clean, what the fuck is they up so early for? They've been doing it ever since. You know what I'm saying? So for myself, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, when I thought, listen, watch this here. Bill Clinton, if he ran for president, I'd still vote for him. So anyway, Bill Clinton was having an affair with Monica Lewinsky. That's when I got clean, around in that era, right? So I'm up 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm looking at the worldwide news, and I shit you not. They started talking about the disease of addiction. They said Bill Clinton, they said he was obsessive. They said he was compulsive and total self-centered. Didn't give a fuck about nobody else based on this woman and having this affair. I said, damn, they be saying that shit in the meeting. Because we talk about this disease, don't give a fuck about nothing or no motherfucking body. And when I said that Bill Clinton got this shit, I said, oh shit. A light went off in my head. I'm like, oh shit. You mean Tim, I got to stay around here for the duration of my life? Yeah. So is it enough? Huh? Most days. So I get clean, I stay around, I start doing the little, the service work type stuff, just get a home group and you do what you do, and trying to fit in and do what y'all told me to do. So I do all that good stuff, right? And some more stuff started being applied, the more I kept coming around, some more stuff started being revealed. And so I come around, and so I couldn't figure out, and so I would volunteer outside the program. I would do some stuff, in the community, right? And it's just this one particular time, right? I volunteered and I did some stuff for the community, right? And an off-duty police officer, I had a confrontation with him at one of the events, right? And the Juneteenth event, the disease showed his ass. That's what, look, it showed his fucking ass at a Juneteenth event in the beginning. So needless to say, I was on a U-Haul truck, and they assigned me to do something that I thought was important, and I tried to drive the U-Haul truck in and wanted to park it where I wanted to park it. They told me, no, you need to take it around. I said, well, I just got to go right there. They said, you need to take the truck around. And so, I'm sitting in the truck, so I won't move the truck. So the off-duty police officer opened up the door, and I'm like, he's sitting down, and I'm looking at him, and he went to grab me, and I still remember this vividly to the day because I have a disease. I told you it don't tell me when or how or where. And I watched this hand right here. Those a series of jabs violently and hitting this officer. And all I could, you get that out of body experience, and you like, what the fuck is that? What this? My hand was doing what it wanted to do without my permission, and I'm like, what the fuck? I seen it, and I couldn't do nothing about it. I didn't think about it. I couldn't do nothing, man. And next thing I knew, they snatched me out of the vehicle, because by that time, some more officers, not only an off-duty clear, but and so I'm struggling because I don't know where the fuck I think I'm going, and they trying to arrest me. That's what I didn't know that, And next thing I knew, I was on the ground, and I was still struggling like I was gonna get up and go. So now I'm telling you, man, they had me pinned. They had one police officer had his knee here, one on my head, one on my legs, and my other two legs, and I'm still wiggling, trying to. And one say, man, fuck this, we tired of this. Let me mace his ass. And it's interesting how the disease will flee your ass when the reality hits you and you come back to your senses. And some told me, he said, oh, I need to surrender now. Y'all talking about give up the fucking fight. You know what I'm saying? I'm from the old, look, the Indians ain't never surrendered. Wave the flag, fuck that. They went down, fuck it. And so that's what I was doing up to the point where I said, well, ain't nobody going to come and help me, so I try to wait, okay, I'm surrendering now. I want to, they mace me any motherfucking way. You see what I'm saying? That's how my shit affects me. Is this enough? And I used to go to different meetings and share and look, I ain't talking about nobody that's on medication. Look, if you got a prescription to medication, if they say take it, take it. All I know is I went to a meeting, I started sharing, and the lady said, well, you need to take medication like me. And I thought about what she said, and I'm, what the fuck for? This program, I believe in this program, because y'all told me at the end, and when you closed out in the program, and y'all made a circle for me, I always wanted to send in that circle. So I can, it talks about in our symbol, all manifestation of the recovering person. And then he said recovering addict, it said recovering person. To seek the relief from their addiction through the Narcotic Anonymous program way. If God get them by godly belief, if y'all can do it without taking certain medication, do it, God damn it, I can do it too. This is going to take me a little bit more work than it might take y'all, but I can do it too. And guess what? I've been doing it for over 21 years now. Because I believe that. I believe wholeheartedly in my heart. Listen, I'm talking about, man, the third tradition talks about, listen, now we got a place, look, they coming up with new requirements in our area. We got some new requirements to be a member of Narcotic Anonymous. Now, where the fuck that come from in our literature? It says the only requirement for membership. It said one requirement for membership. They say 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And where all this shit come from? Only required for membership is the desire to stop using, man. All this other shit, where? We got new literature, but I don't even see it in the new literature. The old literature still fit. It still fucking works. It still works. You know what I'm saying? So they used to call me Angry Dave. I used to Angry Dave. They go Angry Dave. I'm like, yeah. You know, I go to meetings, right? So once again, I had to be a mathematician, right? And I had to go and calculate some shit, right? Because I had like 10, 11 years, right? And I had to figure it out. Why the fuck every 3 years I'm in jail, clean? Could it have been the drugs? I look at my man talking about got 20 years just around in the program. So I understand that feeling, right? So I'm like, okay, so could it have been the drug? And I really had to look at, damn, I got an anger issue that I need to address. You know, see, I just didn't work with a sponsor, right? And I was successful with him at the one point in time where I was at 5, right? I remember doing the 5th step with him, right? And then, so anyways, I had to go back. I had to go back to 4, right? Because I didn't do a thorough inventory, right? And I said, well, damn, how come it wasn't thorough? Because I didn't surrender. Some days I have a hard time surrendering my will and life over to God. Because he don't move fast enough. Look, I told you I can think in picoseconds in time, right? But I know now today that the God of my understanding work made one much more quicker than that, right? But see, picoseconds suffice for me. You need to come on, move this on. But because I didn't believe in y'all, I had a hard time having faith in y'all. Second step, minimum concern. That shit true. Pass over this shit with minimum concern. That's especially when I don't see the God of my understanding trying to give me some help. Well, so he said, okay, David, you knucklehead. See, you want to listen to me straight out. You don't want to give me your will. Then I'll just make you understand too, and understand y'all, or understand watch this, or understand my son, or watch this here, or understand the police officer when they beat my ass and take me to jail. Then you want to, and you still, but it's all because I go back to the first thing. I still think I'd be having power and control over people, places, and things that render me helpless in a whole lot of situations. So then I watch myself have to coming back through that cycle back up again. You know what I'm saying? And for the help. So it was something else I wanted to share. You talk about narcotic announced by itself isn't enough. So I just shared with you who's an addict. So once again, it goes back to the questions. You know, these are some things that you might want to ask yourself. And then if you find that out, right, then you go forward and say, well, then we talk about there's help available for me. You know what I'm saying? It goes on to talk about what's a Narcotic Anonymous program, a spiritual program. And the solution is spiritual in nature. I'm not going to go ahead and read the whole read. You know why I do the readings? Like, I got the readings in here, right? And I memorized them, right? Because I thought that's the thing that I had to do. Because I used to be with some guys that had clean time more than me. And they used to sit up. They used to sell clothes and all that. And I watched them one day do the readings. Somebody read a paragraph, another one read another paragraph, and I said, ooh, I want to do that by myself. I don't want to share. I want to be able to read it all, right? So, and I remember my first time trying to remember who's an addict, and I had been practicing for 30 days, and I couldn't remember the first word. I thought I was losing my mind. You know, my friend Clyde used to tell me, Dave, sound like you got amnesia. The fuck you mean I got amnesia? You know, it talks about we suffer from amnesia and all that other stuff, man. The ability to reason, love, and care for one another. And we have to learn how to get that shit back, man. I had to learn how to constantly, not force it, but try to get that stuff through this program. I had to learn how to get this stuff through the program. And I remember one time, right, I had told myself, why am I here? So I remember why am I here. And I'll shit you not. In my mind, I told myself I was going to say a curse word. They were going to ask me to come up and do the reading, or why am I here? And every other word was going to be a curse word. Man, I went that long? Whew, okay, great. So once again, when we talk about, you know, is this enough? For me, it's enough for what I need for me on most days. You know what I'm saying? And all I got to do is be able to go in and tap into that resource. I need to tap into y'all on a whole lot of days. I want to thank, listen, man, I love y'all, man. We going to do this more often because I got to get them back. They laughed at me even when we switched up and got a new car. Right? And still, because they said, well, we still going. I'm like, how are we going to still go? My car. And when I get back to Buffer, I'm thinking about staying there. But they already figured out they was going to come, and I'm like, well, damn, I might as well try to figure out a way to come with them. I got to come. I made it a commitment to come to here. You know, I want to just share this and then, right? Because I brought an additional bag, right? And because now I'm backed up with my schoolwork and preparation of what I have to do for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So I figured maybe I can sit back there and do what I do, but it ain't gonna work. So I'm just gonna leave that there to tomorrow. Just don't go to no meetings tomorrow, right? And do what I got to do, on the other side of this program, right? Because some days, I'm just so grateful that I can make it to a meeting. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, you guys. I'm glad that y'all invited us to come down. I hope that I come down on many more days. You know what I'm saying? I'm an addict named Dave. Thanks for letting me share.